We're back, episode 9, the Lockup Podcast. What's going on? What's going on, Chris? How are we doing?
Oh, we're chilling today. We got a lot to talk about and big predictions to make this week.
Oh, dude, we got a lot to talk about. And speaking of a lot to talk about, shout out Helmut Marko for cap alert, major cap alert.
Cap.
Dude, I'm not buying it at all.
Yeah, and that's on Christian Horner's bald-headed photo.
That is on Christian Horner's smooth cranium.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get right into it, honestly. Red Bull, I'm not buying anything they're saying. They fooled me once, so shame on me, I guess. Is that how the saying goes?
Yeah, I guess it's fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on
Wait, no,
you.
is it shame on you and then it's shame on me the second time, right?
Wait, yeah,
I don't
yeah, we
know.
have it backwards.
Either way, they fooled me once and I will not be fooled again. I'm pretty sure that's what George W. Bush said. So yeah, you fooled me once, I can't be fooled again.
Yeah,
So
I can't be
yeah.
fooled again.
I'm not buying anything they say until I see like, oh no, we'll say 3 races right now with no DNFs. And the longer that their issues go on, it's gonna be like, okay, maybe 4 races, 5, it's
Yeah,
only
I
going up
mean,
from here.
yeah, I just don't. I mean, who knows what the problem is, man, at this? Because honestly, like, I, I, I just don't know if they're being 100% for real with the media or whatever. Which I don't expect them to be all the time, but at the same time, like, I don't know. We literally just have to see them consistently finish races. I understand that, like, it's literally either you win the race or you don't finish it at all right now. So it's like I just need a little bit more consistency, but I just don't believe that it went from a whole slew of problems or just the week before it said our problem is actually very complex and it's kind of hard to understand. And then immediately to yep, all good, no problems. We're good to go going forward. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and I know they're saying, oh, there's no issues with the engine, it's the fuel system, brother. Like the fuel system is probably one of the most important parts for the engine to work. So big issues there. We'll
I
see if
mean,
they can get them
huge.
sorted. I hope they do. Uh,
They got to. The Ferrari's about to pull away. They
yeah,
have
and
to.
you've probably seen on Twitter, everyone talking about how last year Max had, some DNFs where he lost out on like 60 points or something.
Yeah, which would have come super in handy for the clutch of that. Then
And
Abu
he's
Dhabi wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah, and he still won. So, I mean,
Exactly.
I wouldn't count Max out yet, even though Leclerc's getting a big lead. But yeah, it's gonna be hard. I mean, really, it's even like, yeah, they're saying like, oh yeah, he had all these DNFs, but Lewis Hamilton also DNF'd in some races. So I
Oh,
mean,
you're
if
right.
Ferrari, like if they could just coast to wins, if they get a big enough lead, like as long as they don't DNF, like it's gonna be hard for them to lose.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And speaking of DNS, we can just head right into the weekend. We got some upgrades coming in the weekend. Let's see.
Yeah,
We got Alpine with the new floor design. I'm not sure what they're going with on that, but I think the goal is just increase pace all around. They're as about as average of a car as you can get. It's not good or bad. It's definitely not. It's not bad because teams are definitely worse off. You could be Crash and Martin and be
you
with
could be
that
crashed apart.
with that hunk of junk. But Alpine's doing just fine. But that new floor should help them out pretty decently in the
I
midfield.
mean, I think Alpine's definitely they're fighting Mercedes right now for
Oh,
best in the midfield.
100%. Best of the rest for sure. I think, dude, you could go 4 ways right now for best of the rest. I mean, honestly, I still think Haas is in the mix in that conversation. I
I
think
think so.
Alpine's in that conversation. McLaren's in that conversation.
Now they
And
are, yeah. McLaren,
yeah, now,
they fought
yeah,
their
you're
way
right.
back,
Now they are.
which hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I saw Alpine's talking about bringing in a new floor design. AlphaTauri's trying to bring in a new floor and brake duct design.
I didn't even
Uh,
know they were having a problem with the brakes.
well, I don't think it's that they're having problems with the brakes, but you can see a trend. Every team is working on their floor. This season they brought back ground effects, which is a big change. Just
That
think
is
like I
true.
think the last time they did it was in, I don't want to sound like an idiot, So I'm gonna look this up before I say it, but it's been a while since I've done it. So bringing that back, yeah, you got to really think about a whole new side of the design that you didn't have before. So you'll see all the teams trying to improve their floor. It's the first year with the new rules.
That's true. That's true. And then, we got Red Bull, of course, obviously sandbagging like they've had with everything with the media about what's wrong with their car. And they claim no big upgrades are coming soon, and it's not a big package, but they're going to be doing something and tweaking something because they just have to. Nothing's going right now. I don't like obviously their car is fast. When the car is operating as smoothly as possible, it's a fast car, but very literally it is a 50-50 shot, flip of a coin if it's going to finish.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say you're working on an upgrade package when you're still fixing your
Yeah,
car.
exactly. You can't even see like the checkered flag, and you have to focus on that first. So I
Yeah,
mean, there's just band-aids right now.
you got to work on the initial before you can do the upgrades. But yeah, so they're looking at that. I also looked it up. It was in the 1980s was the last time they had the ground effect.
Holy
So
hell.
I
Okay.
would have been right if I said it, but you know, you don't have to believe me. I could be capping like I'm working at Red Bull.
I know from
Um,
shout out Christian Horner.
yeah, Ferrari's also saying that they're not really going to bring any significant upgrades. A lot of the big teams probably aren't too keen to do it because it's a sprint race, so there's less time to evaluate in your practice and kind of get the data that you want to confirm if your design's a good one or not. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ferrari and Red Bull are like, yeah, we're gonna stick with what we got. They're fast cars, but Red Bull's got to fix their issues.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is right. We do have the first featured sprint race of the calendar this year. And yeah, you're totally right. It does make perfect sense for teams to tend to pump the brakes on any upgrades they're going to add to their car right now because it's like, what, you only get two practice sessions and it's immediately into qualifying for Saturday's sprint race. Like
Yep.
yeah, so yeah, that totally makes sense. And honestly, rightfully so. Ferrari didn't, I mean, they they can virtually do whatever they want. The freedom of development on their car is great right now. Like they're very good in reliability. They're obviously very good in pace. If anything, they're working on what the last time we checked was getting the car a little bit lower to combat porpoising and see if it sacrifices speed or not. And that's about it, really. And they're just working on maybe a new floor design, but it's just suspension and floor, right?
Yeah, I mean, they already planned to crank up that freaking Ferrari master engine, so
That's true.
they don't have to do much work on the engine. They have so much buffer already that
That's
they've planned
true.
on, which is amazing. Good call. Great strategy choices. Um,
And I mean, dude, speaking of Ferrari, we got to talk about the white Ferrari. What's going on with Haas over there, my guy?
dude, I mean, listen, everyone's like, "Oh, Haas, they're copying the Ferrari. Yeah, it's an illegal design."
Bro, are we gonna forget about the pink Mercedes?
I mean, look, this has nothing to do with that. I mean, is it a coincidence that the two teams that spent the most time in the wind tunnel have a similar
You're
design?
right.
I mean,
You're right.
come on, use your
Yeah, I
common sense
mean,
here, guys.
yes, coincident, they're sister teams, and I get it, whatever, but like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like
I mean,
they see a design that obviously works. They spent the most time in the wind tunnel. They see that maybe that design of side pod is the way to go right now because any car with that design, minus Aston Martin, because I'm not sure what the hell they got going on in that camp to get that car going. But every car with that similar design has had nothing but success and worlds of pace.
hey, let's not mention Aston Martin is literally copy paste the Mercedes floor. So
That
I
is
mean,
true. That is
yeah.
true.
Oh, whoa, they have a similar design also, I guess. Like,
Yeah, I
wait,
know. Where's the same energy?
yeah, where's the same energy for real? Like, come on, we got to get on Crash and Martin. I know they're already at the bottom of the tier, but
Yeah, I know they're easy to shit on right now. Like, I get it. But like,
they're hating on Haas because they're jealous, man. They had a disappointing, to say the least, end of their last season. Honestly,
to say the very least.
the last couple seasons of them have been a downward slide. And
Yeah.
now They've bounced back, new regulations. They put in the time, they put in the money, they took advantage of the rule change. And honestly, hats off to them. They
Shout,
deserve all the
I mean,
success that they're getting
shout
right now.
shout out Haas, man. You're doing great, sweetie. Don't hate them because you're beautiful. Like, come on. Like
Yep.
you dude, like Haas is killing the game. They spent the most time in the one tunnel. They opted very obviously, which now seeing how they finesse the bag at the same time is beautiful to just double down on the development of this year's car, like basically all of last season. I don't really think they touched anything as an upgrade for last year's car. They just
Yeah.
focused on everything this year.
Let's get into my boy Gunther Steiner, dude.
Oh,
He was
what
spending
a genius.
he spent all of last year convincing this Russian oligarch that no, dude, your son sucks at driving. The cars are the same. We don't need to put any money this year into the cars because we're focused on next year. Somehow managed to keep a guy like that off his back long enough to develop the car. They got out of the deal when your qualiy ruined their reputation, and they got the money and they got the drivers now. Now, what I do need to see is I need to see Mick Schumacher step up and show some race pace and
Yeah.
get some points, dude. I need to see you get points.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Magnuson had his back today. Kevin answered a little bit of questions saying, that Mick absolutely deserved to be at Haas. He definitely earned that drive, and he'll show a little bit more, and he'll learn as he's going. But I think you're right. I think last year learning, and then this, I understand he came into F1 right at the end of an era and then start of an era. I get that, but it is time now to really start showing some raw pace and some raw results because Kevin's there now. He's gonna push you. It's not friggin' Nikita Mazepin. It's not your Nicholas Latifi. It's not the little average Joe that you're gonna qualify every Saturday. Like K Mag's gonna push you and make you be up there. So if you want to earn your first points, it's time to show that raw pace. Which I understand with that that last pretty big crash in Jeddah, like I understand that's a little rough, but like we got to open her up now. We got to
Yeah, I
show
mean
off that horsepower.
that's unfortunate. It was a bad way to end his weekend, and I mean it's a good thing he's okay. But
Yeah,
I mean, like you gotta look at it, Joe's doing better than him, and it's his
yeah,
first
man.
season.
He's looking very good in that Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, yeah. I mean Ferrari power, baby. But yeah, I want to see him step it up. I think Haas is doing all the right things. I don't think that they're copy paste of the Ferrari, and I don't think they're going to get in trouble for any whatever.
No, yeah, I don't understand why. Now I'm curious. Did the list of teams come out? Like, do we know what teams protested? We just know the number of teams, right? It was like up
Eh,
to.
I think I saw it was like 3 teams, but I mean, let's see here. How many teams are Mercedes powered on the grid? There's like 4 of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're right.
Williams
Process
isn't
of
gonna.
elimination.
Williams doesn't care. They're too far gone. They're barely above Crash and Martin.
Oh man, I mean,
So
you probably Aston Martin, McLaren, and Mercedes. Oh, come
maybe
on, guys.
AlphaTauri. Maybe
I mean,
AlphaTauri.
maybe.
Because that Red Bull powertrains division's salty as fuck.
Oh, dude, yeah. They get handed the recipe, misjudge the recipe, and then now are like, man, we got it all wrong. We developed a great car aerodynamically, like chassis wise and suspension and all that stuff. Floor looks great. And then we just can't finish a damn race because our freaking engine catches on fire and
Yeah.
locks up.
So what do? You just go after Haas.
Yeah, you're just like, well, we're instead of making our car better, we're gonna make the competition worse.
I'll applaud that. That's pretty awesome. Maybe they're trying to get a Ferrari penalty out of it, but listen,
I mean, even
guys,
that,
we
they're not
know
gonna get
look,
punished.
we know Ferrari's been cheating since F1 started, all right? They ain't getting caught.
They ain't getting caught. And if anything, they'll just find the loophole and be like, oh, thanks, Ferrari. This is why we pay y'all. They get 100 million grant tax that y'all just get every year for your budget for just participating since 1950. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh,
They're the
okay.
richest team on the grid, bro.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's Ferrari. Come on, they're awesome.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
mean,
tell me
it
you're not a
is motor
Ferrari fan.
racing. Yeah, Ferrari is motor racing, so I feel
They
that.
are. They're the face of it.
Dude, but speaking of Ferrari, what were you gonna say though?
I
Go
was
for
gonna
it.
say, everyone makes a big deal about losing Monaco, but you can't lose Ferrari. All right,
Yeah,
they're
no,
hand
you're
in
right.
hand.
You right. You right.
But I know what you're about to get into, and we need to talk about Carlos
We
Sainz.
need to friggin' talk, dude. I think they are making a mistake. I think
I
they are making a mistake.
look. I would say I think they're making a mistake if Pierre Gasly wasn't at the end of his contract,
Uh, I
and
mean, dude,
I
because I
predicted
don't
this.
hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's not bad, but I see where you're coming from. I also am a big Carlos Sainz supporter,
Carlos
and I
Sainz
don't want.
deserves better.
He deserves the best. That's why he deserves to be at Ferrari.
Dude, everybody's treating him like a friggin' seat warmer, man. He hasn't found a home. And I like Ferrari seems like his home, but what the hell? A 1 year opt out?
I mean,
Come on.
I think he was the one that bounced out of McLaren though, right?
I mean, yeah, but Ferrari was offering you, dog.
Yeah, I mean
Like to Leclerc going into a new era. Yeah. Like I
no, I
think
mean
that's your
look,
only upgrade.
I'm not gonna fault him for doing it, but at the same time, like you're saying, everyone's treating him as a seat warmer, but McLaren, that was their boy.
I feel you, but I don't know, dog. I think Lando was coming for that ass anyway, like any
He
shape or
was
form.
but you're leaving Lando to go to Leclerc, so I mean,
I mean, fair, but no, I feel you. I do feel you, but this is all I'm saying. I'm not trying to compare it to you because I understand like one's the golden boy and one's not, but I truly believe that like Sainz belongs at Ferrari. But dude, freaking Charles, like half a season of Alfa Romeo, in the middle of the season, he signs a freaking supermax with freaking Ferrari. Like
uh,
it's like, dude, that they really that shows belief. And then you mean to tell me, bro, Carlos got everything out of that car last year, and Ferrari's car was fourth or third at best, which they got third. Yeah, McLaren definitely like if Ricardo didn't have the slow first half of the year, McLaren was P3 the whole way.
yeah,
But
no, listen, Carlos Sainz was a decider in the constructors last year between Ferrari and McLaren.
dude, yes.
Whichever team he was on, they were winning that because he's that guy. He did better than Leclerc that season. And I mean, we do have to acknowledge like Leclerc had a lot of unfortunate circumstances,
Yeah.
so whatever. But Sainz still held it down for the team and finished as their best driver.
That's what I'm saying, man.
He helped them win the constructors. He definitely deserves to be at Ferrari, but
I get it.
I can they got him on a prove it deal, dude.
I mean, yeah, but what the hell does he have left to prove? Listen. I understand the first three races haven't been like all squeaky clean. I get it.
I
I
mean,
know. I
just
understand. Like he got fucking P2 the first race. Like, come on.
he
Like,
got P2. Are we already forgetting about the 1-2?
literally, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, for that hot of a start, especially coming off an already strong season last year, and to start off that hot, and even admit openly that yes, I'm not all the way comfortable with the car yet, but once I do get comfortable, you best believe I'm here to race. Like, bro, all he was asking for was a two. Like, he at least wanted a 2 year, and you couldn't even guarantee a 2 year. You give him a 1 year opt out. Like I said, I get it. I'm a big Pierre Gasly fan as well. And I don't know this for sure, but we all know the interesting, silly season of Carlos Sainz is up for contract and Pierre Gasly is up for contract. Let's see what's going on because Pierre's reached his ceiling with AlphaTauri, and if he ain't getting that Red Bull seat, that he needs to move on. So
He's got
it's
to go
like
up.
he's got to go up, and that's his only upgrade. And
Yeah.
like I just, but come on, you can't even give my man Carlos 2 years. You can't
So
even guarantee him 2 years.
I think it's pretty telling that they haven't closed the door on him yet. It sounds like they want to keep their options open. They want to see I guarantee if he had an amazing first three races, that we wouldn't be in this situation. He would have been re-signed immediately. Right now, I
Yeah,
think they're thinking, okay, we got to hold this off a little bit, see how he actually turns out this year once
I
he
think
gets
the
comfortable with the
Australia
car.
GP was a little bit of a damper.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
going to be hard to negotiate a contract after you DNF when you're,
yeah,
and it's not just you DNF'd and the other driver got P1 and dominated the whole race.
yeah. But don't you see how it could be counterintuitive by maybe because he doesn't even have his future decided, that is fucking with like his driving style, and that is like it's all like I'm not going to blame it completely on that, but
Oh, dude, that's,
it's just it doesn't help
I
like
mean,
to know that you're not secure, and to know that not only are you not secure, but they want to give you one more year of let's test the water still, because if you're ass, we're bouncing.
I mean,
Like,
they got him on the Valtteri Bottas special. So
oh
how do
man,
you expect
shout out, pour one out for the guy.
how do you expect him to perform at his best when he's got the knife at his throat?
It's just so insecure. He's literally driving insecure. Leclerc has been able to be a killer on the track because he's freaking locked up till like 2047.
He has
Like,
nothing to worry about, dude. He lives in Monte Carlo. He's got a contract secured, and guess what? They're gonna re-sign him after that.
dude, he's the Ferrari golden boy. He is like, and rightfully so. I'm not saying he didn't earn it, but it's like, dude, it's hard to be the second driver when you know you have a driver right next to you that you can hang with. Don't get me wrong, Charles Leclerc he's damn talented, and Carlos Sainz is up there too. But like he's solidified. He has that backing. He has the "we believe in you." It's kind of tough racing like that all the time. If it was up to you to sign a 1 year deal, yeah, that's one thing. But you're asking for two minimum because you want to show some commitment. And they're like, pump your brakes there, guy. We'll give you one, but if you're ass, we're going.
Yeah, he's not on the Lewis Hamilton 1 year deal where it's your terms 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
and especially with you got Lando signing the suit, basically his supermax to extend his stuff. You got Daniel there for 2 more years. You got Max just coming off the signing of his new contract, so freaking what, 2028?
Is it a oh, dang. Yeah, I thought it was like a 4 year
Yeah,
deal. Maybe it's more.
it's either 2025 or 2028. It's something like that, bro, and it's ridiculous. It's like 50
I
mil a
think it's,
year.
yeah, I think it's a 4 year deal, 2026. That's my let I'll look it up, but yeah,
It's
no, that
ridiculous.
it is a fat deal. I think it's like a Lewis Hamilton
So it's
deal.
like, yeah, it's like, no, yeah, they're getting paid the same annually, but it's when you see all those happening and you seeing everybody get locked up and some real belief going in behind them, and then you have Ferrari going, yeah, 1 year and 1 year opt out after the results you got for him last year and the 1-2 finish and the you still have more in the bank, bro. We're on round 4 of this year, so it's
Yeah,
like, I don't know, man. I think Ferrari's shrinking a little bit.
I think it's definitely a pretty shitty spot, but I mean, you can't blame them for keeping the door open when you see Pierre Gasly as an option.
I
I mean,
can't. Yeah, I get it's a business, man.
shout out to Rob with the F1 fantasy talk. I mean, if I'm a F1 fantasy manager, I'm trying to get Pierre Gasly on my roster. So if I was a real constructor, I'd be looking at him too.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, shout out to the boy F1 Fantasy Hub. But no, you're absolutely right. If Pierre, dude, if he's got it, then he's got it. And if Carlo, like, if you want to trust Pierre, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that dude's a bad driver and he can take over the range just as good as anyone else. But like, I don't know, man. I just think Carlos Sainz deserves better. He was treated poorly at Renault. He wasn't really wanted at Renault. He goes to McLaren, and he was fine, but they were showing just more and more interest in Lando's side each and every day, and they knew that he was the come up, and I guess he wanted to bounce. He basically kind of felt like how Daniel did at Red Bull towards the end, have him bouncing to Renault and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I don't know, man. I really want him to work things out at Ferrari, because he even gets along with Charles too. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's a little fugazi in that camp.
Yeah, I think it's a little goofy. Carlos Sainz is the ultimate teammate. I looked up what you were saying. Max is on the deal till 2028. You were totally right about that.
Dude.
And that makes you, I want to get back into Red Bull a little bit. Like
Yeah.
they it's crazy that they're still considered the second best car when they've DNF'd in 2 out of 3 races.
I know, and I understand that it's crazy to consider that, but with everything going on with all the other teams, it still makes sense
Yeah.
because Mercedes looks like they're managing, but it is sloppy. It is getting over the line at all costs right now. It is not cleanly by any means. So
Yeah,
and
I
then
saw I saw
it's
something
just tough.
yeah, I saw something about Mercedes porpoising issues. Like all the teams are dealing with it obviously, but like you saw Ferrari, they're bouncing like freaking worse than I've seen any car and they were still the fastest. Uh
Yeah, I didn't sacrifice any other pace. It didn't look like.
yeah, their issues are that the porpoising doesn't just stop on the straight lines. Like they have it going into corners and in braking too.
What the hell? How does that happen? What
I
that
don't
has to be something. What they've introduced a new floor this past week, right?
I think they did. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think honestly a lot of teams wanted to bring upgrades to Australia, but they couldn't because of like logistics getting it there. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we
You're
got
right.
global supply chains under
Yeah.
we got
Global
freaking
supply chains.
we got boats getting stuck in canals, we got, COVID, all
Hell
this
yeah.
crap. Uh
You're right.
but yeah, yeah, I think a lot of teams wanted to bring upgrades. I think that Red Bull needs to really fix their problems. But you know what I think is kind of fishy? They they
What?
they drop this hype like marketing video with Sergio Perez driving from uh New York to Miami,
Yeah,
which I mean
yeah.
the timing is great because Miami GP is coming up, but like they drop it while in the midst of like, okay, is your car actually gonna work? Is it reliable? Oh, here's this
Yeah,
cool video of Checo. Like, who doesn't like Checo?
I
Like,
know.
that's a
What if
total
he's the man for
distraction.
the people? No, dude, it is because it's like they dropped that and they're like, man, we're talking about Miami. We haven't even finished this friggin' race. And then on top of that, it's like, bro, yeah, we got this commercial going. Oh, and by the way, everything with our engines that you saw being set on fire like for the last 2 weeks, it's all good. We figured out the super complex and hard to understand issue that we just told you last week, like in a jiffy in a hot jiffy. Like,
Yeah,
I don't understand that. I don't understand that, not even a little bit. I don't understand what they've done with the media this year at all. I don't know their strat.
they said, yeah, we stopped in Japan real quick on the way back from Australia, talked to Honda, and they said, yeah, just do this, and yeah, we're good
Yeah,
now.
they sent 10 of their finest and like figured out their like the shit we caused and like put together. It cost us a huge luxury tax on our budget for this year, but we had to get them out.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that that video, first of all, is freaking amazing. Like taking that F1 car all across the US
oh
road
no,
trip
it's
style.
sick regardless. Yeah, shout out Checo, shout out
Yeah,
Red Bull for that.
super cool video, super fun, but that's a total distraction, right?
It's got to be. I mean, everybody knows. Unless you've been living under a rock, everybody knows that the only thing keeping Red Bull out of any sort of competing at the championship is if they're freaking going to even finish the race anyway. And I think the only thing that plays in their favor this weekend is that it's a sprint race weekend. At least they can finish a freaking 25% race. Like,
Yeah, yeah, hopefully.
oh
I mean,
yeah, hopefully.
I think they can be reliable enough for that. But did you see that they're changing the sprint race rules this year?
Hang on, bring me up to speed there, guy.
So they're not changing the rules of the race itself, it's the same thing, but uh where you finish in the sprint race doesn't change where you qualify for the race day.
Oh, thank God, because like some of that was a little bit sus last year.
Brazil, where Lewis Hamilton had a legendary drive to get to P1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely sus that, okay, yeah, you got a penalty. Oh, it happens to be the race of the sprint race where you can take advantage of the rules and oh, now your penalty doesn't matter.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
then
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
it makes zero sense to me. So no, okay, I'm totally for that rule. That makes great sense because damn, dude, that shit was actually kind of annoying to like watch. The sprint, I loved the concept of the sprint race, but I didn't like how much it played into the decision making of Sunday's race because I think they should be two separate things entirely.
Yeah, and I like that they're doing that. This actually kind of brings me into a little bit of predictions right here, because on Twitter,
Let's get it.
I was like, okay, sprint race, how do I see this playing out? I think Max Verstappen's gonna get P1
Yeah, that plays
because
into their strength.
I mean, yeah, they're just gonna put him on softs and he's gonna drive the wheels off that car
Yeah, he
and
doesn't have to worry about like mitigating tires. He doesn't have to worry about heats. He could just drive.
yeah, and then that would get him P1 for the race day. But now with the new rules about qualifying, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think he could get P1.
I
Definitely.
mean, it's
Him
got
or
to be either
Leclerc.
Charles or yeah, it's got to be Charles or Max, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be. I don't know.
I
Unless
mean,
they both,
who do you think gets a fluke lap up there?
who gets a fluke lap up there? Um,
Like,
I
who's just
think,
pushing out of control just because it's a sprint? Like,
um, I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I
I don't
think
know,
in
man.
qual,
I guess I just want Carlos to be comfortable behind a Ferrari. I've been picking him to like finish super high up there, but it's just not working out.
yeah, I don't think there's a way you could say that he's gonna get a podium or not a podium, but a race win right now. We have to see him, his situation turn around. But they're racing in Emo.
Imola.
I looked it up. Emilia Romagna. I don't know. I
Oh
can't say it.
yeah.
I'm not Italian. Uh, I guess some of my family is, so sorry. I'm disappointing right now. But yeah, they have to be P1 there, right? It's the
They got
homecoming
to.
race.
They have to. I
They
mean,
gotta.
it's not as big as a homecoming as Monza, but I mean, yeah, I feel you.
It's a
It,
teaser.
it is a teaser. You're 100% correct on that. It's a perfect teaser. But no, they got to be human. I mean, I don't see a world where the way Charles is driving right now and the way he's adapting to that car and how that car's handling, at least his, like, I mean, I don't know. I know Ferrari is notorious for team orders. I don't know how that's going, but dude, their cars are great, and I very much hope that we can see some success from Carlos. But no, man, I mean, shit, I think my top four on the grid this year, or not this year, but this weekend for the sprint race, it's got to be Max Charles locking out the front grid.
What's the order
And
though?
ah, honestly, I almost kind of want to give it to Red Bull just because of the fact I don't have to worry about uh, reliability. They usually always show out in qualifying. They've had all 3 weekends, they've had great qualifying. It's literally just race
Yeah.
and overtime. So it's like I still have to give it. I think Max is going to get pole and Charles is going to get second. And then, I mean, honestly, like I actually see George Russell at third, and then maybe Carlos fourth. I think he's still like he's not going to be super raw like fast, but he's going to be comfortable enough to put in a nice fourth place lap.
And you're talking about for qualifying or for the race?
I think for qualifying,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Qualifying, I think Leclerc is definitely getting P1. Uh I think that Imola is gonna be a lot like Australia. And I think
yeah,
that Ferrari's gonna get P1, Max P2, and then I think that we'll see Checo P3, and
I like
then
that.
if Sainz gets his wits about him, he could be P4. I mean, he could be P3 definitely, but I don't know. We'll have to see how his mental is this week. I'd like to see him get P4 though. And then on the
Yeah,
sprint race, I could see. I don't know. I think Leclerc's just gonna run away with it. Actually, I think he's gonna.
he's putting in incredible drives right now, man.
Yeah, unless they decide to take it easy and play it safe, then I could see Max winning the sprint race. But I think it's gonna be Ferrari win the sprint race, Max right behind him, and then yeah, either Checo or Sainz. We'll see who shows up. I think it could be Checo though. I don't think he has much to worry about right now. I think he's in a way better headspace than Sainz.
Yeah, I
And
think Checo's situation at Red Bull is a lot better. What Sainz is right now.
race day, I think Leclerc's winning it. Uh, and I think if Max's car doesn't blow up, he's getting P2. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I
Solid
see the
take.
same for qualifying, sprint race, and the actual race. I think I'm playing it safe this week. I made some pretty reckless predictions in the
Yeah, you
past.
went in.
I'm just gonna play it safe this week. I think I know what's gonna happen. What about you? How do you think the sprint race is going and the real race?
Actually, I actually very solidly agree with your takes. I still think George is going to finish P3. I think he's going to be a consistent podium finisher for a
I don't see
while.
it.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. I understand. Like now, I don't know with the weather predictions, and I don't know with how this track will treat the Mercedes because it's a little bit more narrow. It's a little bit more narrow, a little bit more curvy. It definitely is like Australia with it being a fast chicaney like track, but I just don't know, man. It might handle a little bit different, and I think it might favor the Mercedes a little bit, a tiny bit. But I don't know. I think he's going to finish P3, and I see Charles finish P1 and Max P2.
You know what? You actually brought up a good point. I totally forgot about the weather forecast for the weekend. It's supposed
Oh
to be a
yeah,
rainy
dude.
one.
Oh yeah, and
So,
Mercedes is notorious for being really good in the wet.
and George Russell has the greatest wet lap ever at Spa. So,
You're
and a
100% correct.
freaking Williams, dude.
And a Williams.
But okay, yeah, all right. This changes a lot. I could definitely see your prediction coming true with George Russell getting P3.
Solid take. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah. I got you. Yep. I'm 100% on board. But I am also worried about the Mercedes because they have a lot of unpredictability. They have the what's it called? Well, I guess not unpredictability. They're pretty predictable, but they have the porpoising issue under like
Yeah.
turning and stuff. So like wet porpoising turning,
Yeah, it could. Yeah, you're right. They never had to deal with heavy porpoising in the wet, and now they do.
that
So
could
you're
spell
right.
a disaster.
I didn't think about that either. It could be they could have it completely under control, or it could be just a massive curveball that's on top of something they have to deal with already.
Yeah,
So I mean, that could be interesting.
I don't think George Russell would be the one to crash it, and I don't think Lewis Hamilton's crashing. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think Lewis Hamilton could crash the
I mean,
car.
who knows, man? It depends on how heavy it rains. Because if there's a dry enough line developing, I think that most of the drivers should be pretty all right. Besides if your name's Nicholas Latifi or Christian Martin, but
Oh
no,
man,
I
dude.
think, dude, I can't help it, dude. I cannot help it,
Do you
man.
know what hurts? I saw someone post. Okay, I've been seeing people's F1 tier lists on there, and honestly, they piss me off most of the time. I saw one where they put George Russell down in like the bottom tier, and I was like, oh my, like they put him on
What are they
Latifi.
smoking?
Okay, they replied and said, it wasn't driver's skill, it was their like who they like, right? They're like, oh,
Oh,
they
just
just don't
personal
like him.
preference.
All
Okay,
right.
okay.
That's fine. And then I saw another tier list where someone put Sebastian Vettel in the C tier and said that's how he's driving this year, C tier. Man's had one race. He had COVID the first 2 weeks. He's in the shittiest car.
I was
Put
about to
some
say
respect on
they
him.
just stuck him in a shit box and
Put
said
some
drive it.
respect on Vettel. He's
Like
had one race to drive the worst car on the grid, and you're saying he's a C tier driver? He's been a one race.
it's literally been one weekend, and even then, he got fucking 26 laps of practice in. That's it. That's
Uh,
it.
he's a
Like,
four-time world champ, so your opinion's invalid.
like
Anyways.
you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
trigger me.
Heated, heated. All right, so I think I'm gonna predict that Lewis crashes the car this weekend in the rain.
Wow. You know what? That's actually bold. I
That's
like it. I mean, I understand it. I don't think it's going to be a heavy crash. It's just straight up going to be due to elements. He's just going to lose it. He's just going to put it in the
he's gonna crash
gravel.
it, and then he's gonna be like, I don't know what happened, Bono. I'm
My
sorry.
tires went off, Bono.
I'm sorry, guys. But
Oh,
I
I'm
think
so
it's
sorry.
if he does crash, it's gonna be in like practice or qualifying, not in the race. I think he's gonna finish in the race.
No, yeah, I think he's going to drive very. if the weather permits itself to be what it's going to be this weekend, it's going to be a wet race. I think he's going to drive extremely conservative, focus on just seeing the finish line, knowing that they already know in the back of their head that Red Bull's having reliability issues. And if they already have to deal with the rain on top of that, they just got to see it through to the finish line. I'm sure it'll promise them a 5-6, if not 3-4 result.
Yeah, and I think the real heated battle this weekend isn't gonna be our top teams. We already kind of know
Oh
what, like, it's
no.
hard to not play it safe in these predictions now because of how they've been.
Yeah.
I think the real battle is gonna be for Alpine, Mercedes, and hopefully Haas this weekend.
Dude, I want to be biased and
Oh,
throw McLaren in there.
McLaren, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I do want to throw McLaren in that mix, but I do want to see some serious competition from Haas because Kevin Magnussen came out hot. He took a back seat, kind of a little bit. He's easing off the gas a little bit, but if Mick Schumacher and Kevin can come back in this weekend really strong and so pace at Imola, I think we can really see a nice, good battle of Alpine, which they've been very consistent so far. Well, actually, no, I can't say that. Fernando Alonso DNF'd, which I understand it was a pretty basic DNF. It was for like a $1 a part freaking fuel gasket. So like I get that, but it's still a DNF. But Alpine shows some promise. McLaren, as long as the graph is trending upward, they're slowly getting better. Haas has really got to unlock because Gunther has already said it. They haven't even unlocked all the power of the current car. So I want to see that best of the rest battle for sure. I think there's going to be a lot of racing between those guys this weekend.
Hey, I'm pretty sure Alonso DNF 2 times this year so far.
Did
So
he
yeah,
really?
yeah, I thought in
You're right. The first race.
no, in the second one in Saudi. Him and wasn't it, didn't he have an engine problem just like Danny Rick that race where they both just lost power?
You could be correct. You could be correct because I know he lost. I know the fuel gasket came off,
That
or
was last
something
week
something
or
happened
last
was
race,
last week.
Australia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure about the earlier DNF. Yeah,
I'm pretty
man,
sure it was Saudi. And then
hmm.
I think he finished the first race.
Lots of DNFs this year.
Yeah,
Lots of
lots
DNFs
of
from
DNF.
teams that you don't even expect that to happen on right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Renault engine's pretty strong, but I think they're I think so. I think Ferrari's got a strong engine that they're babying. I think Renault has a decent engine that they're overclocking or like running that thing too
Yeah, I
much.
actually think they're already. I think they're already close to the ceiling of the current engine that they have. What is friggin' Alonso on like power unit 4 already?
Yeah, they've had a new
Like
engine every race so far.
they've had a new engine every single race so far. So one, that's already not good.
Budget
Two,
cap.
dude, they're gonna hit the budget cap so fast. I mean, that's the only thing that Haas has working against them. But they're dude, if Alpine's not careful, they're gonna jack that bill up to the ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
gonna be hard to
man,
beat Williams, but
it should be an exciting race week, and I'm excited to get into it this weekend in Imola. And dude, practice should be real interesting. Qualifying should be real interesting. Sprint race, I mean, hopefully plays into Red Bull strengths of being able to finish a freaking 25% race. And we'll see this weekend. But dude, this was episode 9. How'd you feel about it?
I felt like it was pretty great. I think we got some good predictions. Red Bull's at least getting some points this weekend with the sprint race. We'll to be determined if they finish the actual race, but let's go, Max. I want to see that. I need to see another podium from you.
Yeah, we got to see Max, super Max back on the
Yeah,
podium. We
and
really
Super
got to see,
Haas.
dude, little white Ferrari. We
White
have,
Ferrari.
dude, we got to see that shit in the midfield this week.
Hey,
But
you know what a white Ferrari is?
what a
That's a Ford Mustang, baby. Nah.
that's
Yeah.
that's a
Anyways,
very
yep.
muscle.
We're the Lockup Podcast. You can catch us on YouTube. We're going to be coming to Spotify soon. We're working on a big announcement for that. You can check out our social medias on Twitter at TLUP, TLUPF1, and Instagram. We've been pretty inactive, but check us out at tlup.f1. Uh, yep, we're the Lockup Podcast. I'm Chris, and I'm joined with Tyler, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Hell yeah, later, family.